Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 vs 3 on Alvarez. Playing on Team 1 as the Imperial Guard, we've got GPL Heck. Playing as the Sisters of Battle, we've got B3. And playing as the Tau Empire, we've got 7th Hawkcage. So on Team 2, playing as the Chaos Space Marines, we've got Custom King. We've got Matt Vey 95 playing as the Space Marines. And we've got Made in USSR playing as the Dark Eldar. So Alvarez, dare I say, is this the most popular 3v3 map? If not, it's definitely up there in the top 3. Nice and small, nice and compact, the big games, but generally short in length. Lots of action, but not much room to manoeuvre, shall we say. Speaking of room to manoeuvre, Matt Vey throwing out a couple of cheeky scouts to get on top of the Sisters side of things. After all, they do have missionaries, which is just one lad versus a couple. I mean, don't get me wrong, he does a fair bit of damage in close combat, but, you know, I see, because you're going to put a heavy bolter to it, smack bang in the middle of the map, occupy and keep people away from the critical locations, also put a bit of pressure on this strategic point as well. Damn fine ideas and very, very aggressive in the early game, although got to bear in mind that that will set your tier 2 backwards a little bit, so we'll have to rely on your Chaos Space Marines and your Dark Eldar friends to maintain their technological parity with their opposing peers. And Chaos deciding, right, well, he's going to walk straight in, no worries whatsoever. Command squad from GPL Heck, he's got his own warrior problem to sort out. And what are you going for? Any friends? Oh, you've got a Canoness, one angry woman. I've also got a Tau commander here. So actually just 3 heroes up against a whole load of tier 1 infantry units at the moment, which is quite an interesting dichotomy. Guardsman looking to capture the critical location. Heavy bolter has finished, so too has the minefield as well, I imagine. And there's just not enough boys on the pitch for Team 1 at the moment. Grand squad about to lose their commander. Now they're just called a squad. It's a bit of an issue. And the Mandrix, where are you going? Oh, you're looking to deny the relic. Always annoying when you lose the relic. It takes 1,000,000 years to capture in comparison to a regular strategic point. Guardsman being ripped and teared all the way back home. Squad wipe right there for you. But the Tau commander over yonder, he spotted the minefield. Got some fire warriors as well. Got to be careful from the perspective of Team 2 that 7th Hawkage here doesn't get a ball of fire warriors. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very expensive. And on a map where you've basically got, what, 1, 2, 3... Oh, you've got 4. Right, that's no worries then. You should be alright for economy. I know some, depending on where you spawn on this map, you are limited by the amount of resources that you can have. I know that the Sisters here won't have a relic to use, so they've only really got 1, 2, 3. Technically 2 at the moment. They can't quite get that 3rd one. They're moving a little bit forward, seeing if they can take on the Tau, but the Tau are repositioning. Have them to really get on top of them without any kind of assault marines. Over down here, the Dark Eldar are still continuing to push onto the Imperial Guard, but a cheeky old minefield will send them back. And now some grenade launchers as well. But they have popped down a Tower of Loathing as well. It'll take a little while to get rid of. Not only because it's building, but also because it's self-building, so it's not a case of, oh, well, the builder's gone, and I can now take it down relatively easily. It's like, no, it's still building. Those clever Drukari and the slave-poking building techniques. No wonder why the stone masonry market in Kamara is not all that good. Quite hard to find a job as a stonemason if you could just get a slave with a stick to do it. Either way, Tau almost getting a full squad wipe there, but one lad managing to just narrowly avoid death and sadness. And while I think all this could probably push into one of these bases for Team 1 and absolutely smash things up, I don't think they've got the confidence enough to really go in. The Imperial Guard is still a bit of a pain. Sisters are slowly but surely amassing their ladies, and the Tau are getting their numbers as well. Beautiful use of the torture amp from Maiden USSR. Slows down the men as they try and run away from the Mandrakes and the Archon with his incubi. But the Tau making an advantage of this by taking out the cultists, while everyone else's big and strong units come over here for defensive reasons. Still got that minefield. And with a close combat orientated Dark Eldar fighting force, minefield is definitely something that will make them feel sad first thing in the morning. I've got plenty of Tau Fire Warriors. Also got a couple of stealth suit teams. They've not had their ranged upgrade as of yet. Torch Ramp is taken down. Tau Commander absorbing the majority of damage. He does go down, which is very unfortunate. Warriors moving in along with the Archon, throwing down a little cheeky stun on the Baal Sisters. Cannon is still relatively healthy. Can't say the same for her compatriots there. And the Guardsmen with their grenade launchers keeping those Mandrakes back. Got a good amount of range for them, so they can keep away from the vast majority of the danger. But still, quite an armed force in the middle here. Current economies for the Southern team is 56 and 20, 68 and 20, and 80 and 20 in comparison to 98 and 30, 62 and 20, and 68 and 10. So the only big economy at the moment is coming from Custom King. How's the tech going at the moment? You are in Tier 2. You are about to be in Tier 2. And you aren't anywhere near. How about you? You're not near. You are in Tier 2. And you're in Tier 2. Okay, so relatively even economic and technological things, except for obviously Custom King having an extra couple of pennies in the bank. Warriors of Chaos and Warriors of Drukhari. Are there Warriors of Chaos yet? No, you're not. So you're just spiky. I just assumed. Not everyone with spikes is a member of Chaos, but everyone who's a member of Chaos has spikes. That's the old tried adage. Well, this is what I mean. This is why I think that Team 2 went pushing in too far too quickly, because they'll get in, but getting out is a whole different kettle of fish. Laying of hands upon the Missionary and the Castellans. These girls don't mind close combat at all. They're brown-breaded, but here is a Defiler. I imagine a Rhino with a couple of happy chappies in there. If one can refer to a Chaos Space Marine as a happy chappie. Here come the women. So too go the boys off on their Chaos Rhino. Problem with the Celestians is that they are going to have a bit of difficulty with the Defilers if there is a line of heavy infantry in front of them. All their anti-vehicle stuff is relatively close range, so we'll need to get up close and personal. We have a commander squad there in the Dark Eldar base. I'm about to finish Tier 2. Not feeling the vibes for close combat, are they? These commander squads at the moment. Now I have a land speeder, a nice cheap vehicular alternative. Oh, but the Chaos Rhino coming forward a little bit too far, too fast, I reckon. Also leaving those Defilers wide open for the Sisters to make use of. To run as swiftly as possible. And beautiful use of the laying of hands upon the Sisters. I don't think that the Dark Eldar are necessarily using their soul essences or any of those kinds of abilities in this game as of yet. Would be nice if they did. That map-wide morale-breaking ability is absolutely amazing in a team game scenario. It's pound for pound, the value that you get out of the resources you put into that ability is just insane. There we go, touch pit add-on, and he must have heard me from the past. That's how it works, you know, boys and girls. It's like I'm transmitting my voice through the warp itself. That's why whenever you get a bit of deja vu thinking, have I had this game before? No, it's because I've just teleported bits and scenes into your mind for advertisement. That's how it works. And we've got plenty of guardsmen, but not much in the way of vehicles at the moment. I think what he's doing is that he's just going to go super guardsman. Well, mind you, he's only going to get into tier 2 in the next couple of seconds. So I don't know, maybe a Chimera, but who knows in this crazy game. A couple of Scourges, they've not gone for any of the Dark Lances, so they're primed and ready for killing infantry. Chaos are now making a bit of a play. A Rhino transport for the Sisters is also coming into effect, but kind of just does a little bit of a twisty turny thingy-me-doodad and leaves them be. Gosh darn it. You've got to respect it. Rhinos everywhere. Little boxes, little metal boxes, if you will. It's like a bus service. Been capped at £3 till 2026. That's how the Rhino service works. There we go. There's the anti-morale ability popping off. Sisters bringing their Rhinos over. Oh, they've got 2 Rhinos there. Who knows who's in what tank? A lot of the Imperial Guard are dead. Jumping inside their listening post for now to hide away. Those Scourges absolutely need tying up in close combat. They do so much damage to everyone on the receiving end of their purple shards. Sister's going to think, okay, well, the Imperial Guard, that's a bad job, can't save them. May as well see if we can save ourselves. Plenty of stealth suit teams with the anti-vehicular weapons. Landspeeder goes down, Rhino transport goes down. Celestians with the Canoness brings out the big glitter ability. Everyone's a little bit less accurate for the moment. And that is a problem for the Sisters. Both the Imperial Guard are getting pushed in. Sisters don't have much really to repel. They've got a Confessor, but the Confessor doesn't exactly do much in a solo capacity. He's a man after all. A man in a woman's world. Or something like that. Imperial Guard have lost 2 listing posts, that's the problem. Be able to regain 1, but I've also lost this strategic point. We're going to get a heavy weapons team. I suppose their point now is just don't die, right? When you're in a team game. Oh, you've got a mechanized commander. So that will force these Scourges to go for a couple of Dark Lances if they want to be anti-vehicle, which will then reduce their anti-infantry capacity. Not bad. Space Marines have gone for a couple of heavy bolters, so they're not going to be breaking through the Chimeras anytime soon neither. So actually, and with 2 fighting forces going up against the Imperial Guard, this does give the Sisters and the Tau Empire a little bit of breathing room to push out up against the Chaos Space Marines. Don't quite have the economy or the fighting force that they have, but maybe working together. Power of teamwork. Sending them off. Trying to get a couple of priests over to see these guys through. And actually, the Space Marines aren't looking all that pretty at the moment. Backed up against the wall. Have got no Rhino to get out of dodge, really. 1 squad wipe there. Dear oh dear. Over here, a whole bedlam of carnage. Chaos Lord in the middle of everything. Got Chaos Sorcerer in there as well. There's not many ladies left, but the Tau are off in the distance. Firing away at a Chaos Rhino could really done with stealth suits taking care of that Rhino, and then the Tau Fire Warriors peppering the heavy infantry. But all the Sisters are brown bread. And now the Tau are on their own. Losing morale. Yeah, if you can't catch up the Tau in time up in close combat, throw artillery at them. Knock them out and about. Oh, Scourges, that's very brave. Don't know how I feel about that. Right in the middle of a couple of upgrade listening posts. No, actually, no, that's fine. They'll be alright. Just brute forcing their way through those formations. Breaks your heart, really. But they are early Tau. They are early Tau indeed. Barracuda's coming out. Could do a lot of damage. Now the Scourges have gone for a couple of Dark Lances. Chimera's keeping the boys aback. But I don't think they necessarily need to keep these guys back. They need to kind of help out the Tower Empire over here. Trying to go for the Monster Command Post. So those higher level units. But yeah, it's I was expecting that to be a lot more damageful there, losing a few more strategic buildings. But losing one listing post. Not bad. Not bad at all. We'll take that. Now that the Imperial Guard have got a good line of defense for the heavy weapons teams, both las cannons as well. Good firing rate, good damage as well. Strong tank line. There's not a huge amount of anti-vehicle on Team 1, so the problem is though is that Team... so Team 2 doing a lot better of a job working together. You know, they've got a complementary unit composition. When one kind of goes one way... I mean, yeah, granted, the Dark Eldar have been riding solo 2 times now and losing all their models, but they tend to be seeming to work together a lot more, whereas teams down here, like, if we could get the town to focus more on the targets that they would actually be good at, rather than the Fire Warriors killing the Rhino transport, if we could get, I don't know, the right people on the right job, so to speak. Plenty of Celestians. Some gone for anti-vehicle. In fact, they've all gone for anti-vehicle. Suppose with the amount of Defilers, Hellfire Dreadnoughts, and all that jazz, maybe all anti-vehicle is not a bad idea. Scourges there, anticipating shenanigans, will circumvent the defensive front line of the Imperial Guard and see if they can kill Listening Post once again. Just finished being upgraded. One priest dead. Turning their attention to the guardsmen themselves. Morale has been broken. No Commissar to keep the boys in check. Defensive heavy weapons team there. That's quite an expensive way to throw out your Scourge squads. 10 green and 55 blue. We'll send them backpacking, losing little to no in the resource department. Heavy weapons team has been taken care of though. So too has a tech priest engine seer. Rhino transport taken care of by the Barracudas, and the Sisters are looking ready and primed to get some damage down. Not super confident, considering that we've got an Obliterator squad on the field. It's only a matter of time before Possessed squad also comes forward as well. But if these Tau just come over and help out, come on! I know that you don't have much in the way of manpower at the moment, but you've got the Imperial Guard, you've got the Sister... well, I suppose you've got the Barracudas as well, if I'm being fair. But there's some lads here that need it taken care of. That's a good tank line. Then they fall back as they realise they're about to get flanked by the Scourges. Also avoiding that orbital bombardment from the Force Commander. Good lord. It's just almost like a dance, really. No one team has the game-ending unit composition, although I do think this mass of Defilers is certainly a huge question mark for Team 1 at the moment. But whoever engages next, if they lose too much in their engagement, then, well, that just then sets their own team up for a loss here. So to be very, very careful what's about to go down. Here come the Possessed. Quite a resilient fighting force. Flamers on them, breaking the morale of the front line of the Tau. There's the Chaos Space Marines. And this is the gambit. They're going to put all their eggs in this one singular basket. Off in the distance. Space Marines are getting bombarded by tanks and stuff. Got a Hammerhead gunship though. Remarkably strong vehicle is the Hammerhead gunship. It's an Exodus. That's what was blasting things up. Best artillery in the game. Fight me in the comments, I don't mind. Huge AoE spread. Massive morale damage. Losing a strategic point, but not that much. Not losing all that much. And now the Imperial Guard have got the Cassicans. You have a priest with you. Yes, you do. So this is a bit of an issue. Unless the Chaos Space Marines and Dark Eldar can take care of this artillery, a lot of their infantry is going to very much struggle, considering that this map is as compact as it is. I mean, look at that, like, just that spread, yeah, that spread alone, as we saw there, basically take on this whole region of the map. Very nice stuff. Possessed Marines now at 4, but they'll take it down another strategic point. Imperial Guard well inside the base. Oh no, but is this too much? Is this pushing in too much with too little a fighting force? There's the Chaos Rhino. There's also double Terminators. That's not what you want to see. Oh, and even been chained by that Sorcerer. There's no escaping for these boys. They're getting bonked by Terminators. And now the Sisters using this opportunity to push on out. No, the Caskins live. A couple of them die, but the vast majority of them live to fight another day. And the counter-attack begins. Although very short-lived. As what is that? That's basically Sisters going against all this more or less solar, which is just not ideal, really. Terminus now busting down the Imperial Guard. Warp Beasts, really dangerous. If you don't have a good morale breaking option against them, absolute nightmare to deal with. Thankfully though, the exist. Oh my goodness, we're gonna blooming, what do you call them? A Bloodthirster. That's what you get, Tau, for sitting around at the back, letting the Sisters do the heavy lifting for you. You get crumped by a Bloodthirster. Oh yeah, it's just multiple pronged assaults on many different sides. Space Marines are going to be taking care of the Imperial Guard. Sisters still holding that line in the centre. Bearing in mind as well that at the beginning of the game they were struggling the most, considering that they had a whole bunch of people coming into their base denying them all 3 of their strategic points. Attempting a couple of drone harbingers. Interesting choice, but hard to really make them work on a map this size with economies this small. Yeah, just a fistful of chaos. Bloodthirster as well. Good heavens. As I say, it was all about that posturing, all about, you know, both armies having a relatively even kind of amount of men, amount of power on the battlefield. But the moment one went in for a cheeky little stab, a poke and a prod, if they lost too much, then that was it. But massive props to the Sisters of Battle here. I think that they were definitely on point, I would say, being as aggressive as they can, being as supportive as they can as well, on both the Tau and the Imperial Guard as well. But yeah, I don't think the teamwork was really working out down here as much as it was over on the northern side as well. Beautiful work by Chaos for forming that giant army, and for the Terminator, well, the Space Marines and the Dark Eldar as well for poking, especially the Dark Eldar, poking and prodding quite a lot through that game. It's very nice stuff. So cheers, boys and girls, for watching at home, and cheers to Custom King for sending this game into the DMs. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you one game a week, and there is also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As been Mr. Lundshark, apologies always never short. Now, see you in a bit. Peace.